This is the final chapter of Alfred Goldberg's magnificent book, Pentagon 9/11. And for those who have not yet picked up this book or have read it in PDF format, I think there's a Kindle format for this on Amazon. Please get it. It's the best, most authoritative book on the subject of what took place at the Pentagon on September 11, 2001, and in the days afterwards. And everyone that was involved in the uh, cleanup and rescue and the collection of human remains at the Pentagon and the investigation involved with it. It's not very long. The initial trickle of 30 people who arrived at the Sheraton on September 12th grew to a flood. Friends and family, including children of the victims from the Pentagon and Flight 77, joined the waiting. Hundreds of volunteers and a like number of relatives could be found in the building at one time. The center received 2,540 people, 45 people in the first week, counted over 2,500 volunteers during its month-long tenure, providing services to an average of 466 people each day, directly assisting 170 families of victims. The Pentagon Family Assistance Center ceased operation at the Sheraton on October 12th, but family assistance did not end. To extend services through the end of the month, the Pentagon Family Assistance Resource and Referral Office, or the PAFARA, Phase 2, or aftercare, as some termed it, was set up. For continuity of leadership, General Spivey became the officer in charge and Brown Waller his deputy. Although OSD funded it and retained control, the office staff came mostly from the Army and Navy. Senior non-commissioned officers, casualty affairs liaison officers, information and referral representatives, phone center operators, plus an Army attorney, a mental health counselor, and a support coordinator. The Red Cross also sent representatives. Located in Crystal City in the Polk Building, a leased facility with restricted access, Bufaro chiefly provided referral services. Although it offered walk-in assistance and maintained a hotline, the office did not attempt to the round-the-clock center and safe haven of its predecessor. Services did not go beyond pastoral, mental health, and legal matters. The reduced mission and staffing meant that daily briefings, 24/7 operations, on-site housing and transportation, food service, and childcare no longer available. The office distributed a resource and referral guide to family members. It informed those who lived outside the national capital region about available support from government agencies and military installations in their area. In addition, an internet website updated information. Although Pafaro significantly scaled back family services, it continued to support the casualty officer's ongoing responsibilities in dealing with such difficult matters as forensic hold. Remains of the dead had not been returned to the next of kin by the PFAC closed. On September 16th, on a Sunday, the Dover mortuary reopened the first 4 preliminary victim identifications. The final identification came on November 11th. And on the 15th, the Armed Forces medical examiner stated that no remains could be found to substantiate the identity of 5 people killed: 2 Army, 2 Navy, and a young child from the airline. Most likely because these people disintegrated on impact. Now, we know their names from the Army and Navy, right? We know their names at databases, but there's no DNA to substantiate who these people are. In other words, there's nothing. No bones, no flesh, nothing. Not even hair. The Army recommended formal simultaneous notification of all family members that the process was complete. Falk, as director of the Office of Family Policy, informed OSD and service officials, the FBI, and representatives of the families, including the 5 for whom remains could not be identified. Casualty assistance officers met with the families, all of whom agreed to release information to the public at the same time on Friday, November 16, 2001, at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Caring for its own is a bedrock military obligation. Fulfilling that Army promise, as one official phrased it, maintaining the reciprocal commitment from cradle to grave between the department and service members and their families, said another. In the last chapter of this response to exceptional circumstance, surprise, and violent death on September 11th, the Pentagon implemented long-established traditions, though carefully detailed programs supervised by well-trained military and civilian professionals, supported by an impressive logistical capability to bury its dead and offer comfort to the bereaved. Sustaining the injured survivors, standing by the families whose lives were forever changed on that day, and memorializing the men and women who were killed remained a quiet but ongoing responsibility of the Department of Defense. When PFARA closed on November 1st, 2001, OSD's Office of Family Policy, the Military Services, and American Airlines reclaimed the mission of seeing to the welfare of the people who suffered such grievous loss on the morning of September 11th. The first Pentagon memorial service took place a month after the catastrophe on October 11th, followed by another on the one-year anniversary. Plans for a permanent memorial overlooking the scene of destruction began even as the destroyed part of the Pentagon was being rebuilt and reoccupied. The honors and tribute paid to the fallen expressed both the nation's grief and its resolve. It was a pleasure reading this book to you, chapter by chapter. We get to learn about what took place that day at the Dover area, Arlington, and also to the surrounding counties that were involved in the rescue and cleanup operations. And there's more to it than just the attacks, right? There are people whose lives were affected by this. And our lives were affected by it because, unlike most events in human history, 9/11 had changed the whole paradigm of the world. From the structure to the executive, the judicial, the legislative branches of government, city, local, federal areas of government, to most of our mental psyche all throughout the world, for good and for bad. Thank you very much for tuning in, guys. See you in the next video. Take care.